welcome to Tea with Tanya, and tonight's guest is the fabulous Glitzy Glamour, Miss Friday Night at Union Street Bar. Thank you, Glitzy, for joining me.
You're very welcome, Tanya. This is a really fabulous experience, and I'm really looking forward to your dishy questions that you're going to ask
yes,
me.
yes. Well, I just have to get the feather boas out of my face, and then we can get started. So, Glitzy, the question I ask every guest to have is, how did you ever get involved in drag and the Kremlin?
Well, drag started, basically I did a performing arts course in Ballymoney, and it sort of like snowballed from there. I was obviously token gay. I was picked to play the pantomime dame.
Sure.
And I'd never dressed up before that.
Yeah.
Although I as a kid, I kind of like thought it was Carmen Miranda or Shirley Bassey at my parents, because they had a huge orchard with trees, and I used to always like rip sheets off my mother's clotheslines, you know what I mean, and wrap them around me and like flounce down the garden. But yeah, sort of the proper drag started when I did my course, my performing arts course. And a friend of mine who was in the music business that I've known for a long time came to see it, and he said, I really think you have a market, because at that stage there was absolutely every drag queen in the country, even in England, was all lip syncing.
Yeah.
And because I've been a singer from the age of 13, it kind of was something new to bring to drag.
Yeah.
And then it basically just snowballed. My first ever performance was in like Port Ballantrae in this big massive hotel, and I was bricking it. I was absolutely bricking it, because it was the first time that I'd ever done it. But makeup and wigs, and it just gives you such a confidence. So I stormed through it. Like, don't get me wrong, there was a couple of mistakes. I made a few mistakes, and I have made a few mistakes along the way, but that's how you learn, and that's how you improve.
So how did you advertise yourself in a way you were getting gigs, and how were you sought out by the Kremlin?
Well, I basically rang, it was the Parliament back then, and I rang them and asked if I could get a gig. And they were like, yeah, sure, fine, no bother. So I was working in the Parliament for about a year. And then the manager of the Kremlin started coming around every Wednesday for about a month. I didn't know this at the time, but they actually were like, he was sussing me out basically to see if I could work here. Because I think Seamus and Andre heard that I could sing, and do you know what I mean? They wanted someone new to come and work. So they basically poached me from the Parliament.
Yeah. And it just took off from there,
and
really.
It took off from there.
So how did you find getting like a regular gig in a club? Was it hard for you to get your foot in the door and just develop as Glitzy?
To be honest, no. I've been very, very fortunate work-wise. Work has kind of like fell on my lap, as opposed to me going out searching for it. But before I was a drag queen, whenever I was just singing normally and doing gigs, it was hard going around places and finding places and ringing up constantly. So to get a permanent residency in Union Street in the Kremlin was just an absolute joy. Do you know what I mean? And I haven't looked back. This is now my 13th year.
Yeah, and it's just fluent.
It's absolutely fluent. Yeah, absolutely.
So you've worked. You just said 13 years here, and you've worked with a variety of talents. Is there any specific memories of a performer or performance that you've done that sticks in your head?
Well, there was a show on the BBC called the John Daly Show, where yeah, I know, it's crazy. They were doing Tina was on. It was like they wanted to do like a karaoke of drag queens.
Okay, right.
Tina was on it. Trudy was on it. I think Portia was on it, and I won the karaoke competition. And then the John Daly Show asked me to come back. But I would say that the most famous person she was on the show that night was Joan Collins.
Oh.
Absolutely, like she looked amazing.
And did you just get chatting?
We were chatting, but funny story. Patrick Keaty was on it as well, and Patrick, we were all in the green room, and it was tonight on the John Daly Show. We have Patrick Keaty, and it zooms in, and then zooms in Joan Collins and Glitzy Glamour, and Joan turned around to Patrick and says, "Oh my God, Patrick, the crowd's really quite explosive." And Patrick was like, "For fuck's sake, Joan, don't mention explosives in Belfast." Do you know? And she says, "Oh, don't worry, nothing like that would ever faze me." Well, there was helium balloons, and one of the helium balloons burst just literally right above her head, and she fucking shot herself. Like she really did. It was the most funny story ever. But anyway, yeah. So that's basically my claim to fame was meeting Joan Collins.
Yeah, sure it is. So obviously drag's quite what would you say, a quite hectic sort of lifestyle in the clubs and the bars. What do you do when you get away from drag and the scene? What do you do to relax?
I find it takes me 2 or 3 days to kind of chill out after the hype of working a Friday night and a Saturday night. It's crazy. I do find it really, really hard to chill out. But my parents have horses and stuff, so I would go out there and help my dad. My dad's getting on now. My dad's 85 and my mum's 67.
Really?
Yeah. So I basically go out during the week and help them out and stuff. So it's cool. It helps me unwind.
So back to you've held your gig on a Friday night now for a good long time. Has it always been the Friday? You had a Tuesday as well, didn't you?
I had a Tuesday. I was working Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Yeah. But literally, I didn't get the Titty Von Trump was here at the time, and Titty then left, and I basically got her Saturday slot, and then the Tuesday became available, and then I did that for about 2 or 3 years. I was here every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. And then they decided that they would just change it and do something different.
Revamp.
So, but yeah, Fridays and Saturdays still.
So how tough do you find let's say keeping your role as the Friday night queen? Do you find it difficult to keep this upbeat personality?
It's tough. It's really tough being fresh and different all the time. It's the same with my Saturday night costumes. Do you know what I mean? It's really, really tough to come up with something new.
And I suppose your crowd
and keep the crowd interesting.
Yeah, your crowds are different as well. When you come on a Friday night, you come to watch the show.
Yeah.
Whereas a Saturday night, people are in for a quick drink or
Yeah, it's very true.
And you're serving.
And I love being behind. I never thought I'd ever see the day that I'd be behind a bar serving drinks, but I actually love it. Makes a change from me drinking and being on the opposite side of the bar.
So, a bit more of a fun question for you. If you had a chance to have your own TV show, what would you do with Glitzy? What would be unique about the Glitzy show?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I've never actually thought about that.
I
would love to do like an interview thing like Mrs. Morton or something. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be quite funny. Like a Graham Norton show, basically, like the drag version of Graham Norton.
Yeah.
I think it would be quite cool interviewing people and.
I actually sort of seen you as a host, like Blind Date or something.
Oh, like a blankety blank. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So we're gonna this one. It's you've got a choice. There's a list of things I'm going to ask you here, and you pick one or the other. So it's a bit of fun.
A multiple
choice. So it's just a quick fire. So we'll go Madonna or Cher.
Cher.
Kylie or Whitney.
Oh. That's tough. Kylie.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Chocolate or crisps?
Chocolate.
Hot baths.
Just because you could do so much with it.
Hot baths or hot showers?
Hot showers.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Vodka and disco or wine and romance?
Fucking disco.
Oh, well, Twanda or Trudy?
Trudy.
Old school Kremlin or current day Kremlin?
Current day, I think, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I would be more old. I love the old day Kremlin. I really do miss the old day Kremlin where you were smoking inside. It was just, the whole vibe was different back in the day. I just think it was. Do you not agree?
No, I'm of the firm believer of times change, people change. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Move on. Let's So no, I'm definitely current.
Okay. So another fun question: if you woke up, let's say one morning, you had £10,000 in your bank account, what would be the first thing you'd buy?
New weaves.
You can't beat a few good weaves. So, is there any specific sort of client you go to for your waves? Do you have a variety of?
eBay is
Yeah.
eBay is everything I get on eBay.
Yeah.
Costumes I make quite a few of my own costumes. I've even started now making custom bits of jewelry and stuff out of old jewelry that I've had. Just got bored with it and changed it. But yeah, eBay for everything. Shoes, eBay certainly.
Yeah. And so, what sort of size foot do you have? Let's say, is it difficult?
Size 9. So
Size
yes,
9. Yes.
I can't buy it on the main street.
You're the same as me.
It's a bitch.
It's a challenge. And it really is. You see all these queens going, "Oh, I just got these in Primark." Oh, and you're like, "You bitch."
I know, for like 20 quid.
So if you had the chance to change things up or do something different with yourself or your night, what would you like to do that you haven't yet done? Would you like to bring in more acts, or would you like to change it up? Would you like to just do a karaoke night, or?
I would consider doing a karaoke night
Mhm.
because I think it would be quite fun. Although I think I would take it too seriously.
I think you would just
Yeah.
want to keep getting up there. So another question that all drag queens have all experienced, let's say, have all been a part of, and it happens in every gay scene in the world. How bitchy do you find drag, and how's that sort of, made you go, whoa?
It is hateful. It's absolutely hateful. I've left. Do you know what? There's never a dull moment. There's absolutely never a dull moment, and there's always someone younger coming up that ladder after you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like watching that movie Showgirls. Like, do you know what I mean? How'd you get
Down
your
the
first
stairs.
break? Down the stairs. Bitch.
So, obviously, I think you broke your leg or your foot there last year, was it?
Yeah, I broke my ankle last
You were
year.
out of action for a good 8 or 9 weeks, was it?
Yeah, 12 weeks actually. It was 3 months.
How difficult do you find that,
It
being
was
away from the
horrendous.
scene?
That was absolutely horrendous. I honestly, I didn't think I'd, you know what I mean? At the time, I was just like, oh my God, I'll never work again. I'll never wear high heels. And then whenever I did come back, the surgeon or the doctor said, under no circumstances be wearing high heels, because I told them, and they had a great laugh about it in the hospital. But I had to wear flat trainers for ages.
And
it
you
was
made your comeback
awful.
at Gay Pride then?
I mean, I thought I wasn't actually going to do it. Or be able to, and I was sure I was a gay pride with crutches.
First time for everything. So, how are you looking forward to this year's Gay Pride? Are you going to make a big spectacular glitzy return, or?
I don't know. I'll wait and see what the theme is. Do you know what I mean? Every year, the theme for the Kremlin's always something different. Do you know what I mean? See, and it doesn't really, nobody knows for about 3 weeks or something before. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be like all hands on deck to try and come up with something different.
Okay, so another question I asked Trudy last night on our interview, and I think I've asked another drag queen or two about, as a drag queen, do you find it difficult on the romance side of things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Extremely so.
Yeah.
Being gay is one thing. Being attracted to men is one thing. But I've found, well, certainly years ago, and still, there's even like a little bit of like phobia about, if you're a drag queen, you want to be a woman. Do you know what I mean? And that's furthest from the truth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's tough sometimes. It is tough sometimes to find a sympathetic husband.
That's it, yeah. And yeah, they're very, very few and far between. Very few and far between. And I think everybody's opinions differ. But yeah, I think I found it a wee bit difficult, but get through it.
You get
through it.
You do.
Drag's your passion.
It is.
Yeah.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly. So obviously you started drag there, like you said, over 13 years ago. Now the big,
well, I've been working here 13 years.
Yeah.
Drag. I started doing drag properly. I got my first gig when I was 21. So that's not exactly.
Well, that's
not exactly yesterday. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I'm 42 now, so work.
You're 42. Yeah.
I'm 42 now,
So
I've been doing drag half my life. 21 years.
Fab.
I know, it's nuts.
Yeah. So what do you think? Would you think, let's see, when you reach your 50s, or do you think Glitzy's going to still be around, or?
I honestly.
There's no limit.
I have no limit on it.
Yeah.
If I would say even maybe in Spain somewhere, I'll be doing drag at 70. Do you know what I
I
mean?
find the drag queens in their older ages, when you are abroad, the older sort of old time drag. I love those sort of
Yes,
girls.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Many, you know, I've spent many holidays in Gran Canaria and Cafe. Well, it was back in the day, Cafe La Belle and the Yumbo Centre, and then now Ricky's, you know, drag bar upstairs, and yeah, it's just a different way of life.
Yeah. And then
I couldn't do it now. I don't think I could do it. I couldn't do it now.
no.
I think I would maybe do that later on.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody loves a bit of sun.
Everybody loves this.
So, you've obviously your Friday night. You know, you've always had a guest performer with you. Let's say over the years, you've had your Roxy and Rusty's, your Paletta, Lucinda Pink, even
Even yourself.
Myself.
I've graced a few Fridays.
How do you like to get an act in and just go? You know what? I want to change it up this week and work. Do you like to look forward to?
I do. I love new talent, and do you know what I mean? That somebody obviously I'll give anyone a chance, you know, and a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love my setup at the minute and the way that I have it, and I love bringing somebody in new every Friday.
So you've got Trudy sort of
Yeah,
as a permanent every other week. Is
Trudy,
it?
Trudy's in one Friday a month with me.
Yeah.
Anya Bex is now in,
yeah.
and Paletta Stiletta, of course. So yeah,
You've got your mixture going on
I'm delighted,
there, yeah.
and each of them are totally different. Anya's, without being rude, Anya reminds me so much of myself.
I think we all just think, oh, let's see, there's just so much.
Anya's
there.
just like
yeah.
a little, like
Yeah.
I just view her as a
Just-
mini me.
Just that style. It is.
She is.
Yeah.
She.
Yeah.
You know, it's strange, and we work really, really well together. And absolutely adore Trudy. Trudy is just amazing as far as working with professionalism. Just everything is crazy. But then Trudy has her years in drag too. Do you know what I mean? She's not a new drag queen. Do you know what I mean? She's not starting out, so she's totally professional. And Paletta's just bendy.
Just
Do you know what I mean?
And her
There is
fucking-
not a Friday. There is not a Friday goes past that she does not do the splits. She does jump. Like, how does she do that?
I don't know.
Leaping off the stage and just landing flat
I
down.
don't know.
I cringe every time she does it.
Must be a box of paracetamol every performance.
It's a few vodkas.
Few
It's a few
vodkas as
vodkas.
God, I wish I could do it. I really do.
Oh.
So I was about to say there, you'd be doing drag the next time you have, let's say, and then this big hit TV show comes along, RuPaul's Drag Race. What do you think? What have you made of that? Is it a good?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But American drag is just totally different from what it is here. Do you know? Even, you know, the drag queens are just so big
Mm-hmm.
and outrageous and in every way. Makeup, everything is just it's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a big
And
follower.
Rue's been around for years.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know that until
Years.
Yeah, and he must be pressing 70.
Wow. She's certainly not a young chicken
No, she's
anymore.
definitely not.
And she wouldn't turn the plucking.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot. Let's see.
I hate that.
It's fabulous. Describe Glitzy in one word.
Funny.
Funny.
I was going to say fabulous, but
I think that's every drag queen's word. Fabulous.
funny. Funny.
So if you were to look,
And
back,
I'm the nice one. out of the bunch.
nice one,
I am the nice one out of the
the
bunch.
one with the smile. If you were to look back, let's see, in God knows 20 years time, and look back at your career, would you be happy with the way it's went?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would not change a thing. I definitely would not change a thing. You know, I love where I'm at, and I love my crowd. You know, my regular crowds. You know, it's great. No, I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah. So is there one favourite song, let's say, would belt out, or if you do a wee gig here and there, do you have a particular song that's your go-to song?
Well, I've always been known for being a belter. Do you know what I mean? A big voice. So a ballad would be, a slow song would be my kind of thing, because it makes, it shows off the dynamics of my voice a little bit better. I really love the Ella Henderson version of shares believe whenever she brought it down and did it really acoustically.
Yes.
So I love singing that song.
Okay. So, well, we're near getting the end. You'll be glad to know. No
I
more
am
pressure.
glad to hear it. I need to get my tights off.
So, exactly. This feather bow is still falling on my head. Right, okay, let's see. Another one. I've asked a few of the guests. If you were stuck in an elevator for 12 hours and you had two drag queens stuck with you, who would you want that to be? Right?
That's really tough.
Now, think about 12 hours.
12 hours.
Close proximity.
Truly, definitely. Oh, possibly Anya.
We on you.
I think so.
I just picture a lift full of sequins and glitter.
We've been making, we all, like, Trudy's very handy with her hands too, do you know what I mean? Making costumes, and Anya, of course.
Yeah.
So I think we'd have a few costumes run up by the time of the 12 hours was past.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, if there anything else, let's see what I'd like to say before we go.
Just thank you very much for the opportunity.
No
This has been
problem.
absolutely amazing, and delighted and can't wait to hear it broadcast.
Yeah, and I'll try and pick out the most fabulous pictures for the background.
Yes, definitely. Not yes.
No pictures of you leant over the bath in your nightgown.
Work away. If you find it, work away. And we will certainly get you in on a wee Friday very soon.
Oh, fabulous. Do you know what? That's another thing I meant to say. What I find about working the Glitzy show on the Friday night is the stage is that small, but it's cozy and it's a good sort of wee platform. And
Yeah, it is.
do you know what? Some people might be just out for a drink and keep themselves, but it's a nice warm atmosphere. That's what I like about it.
It's a great atmosphere
Yeah.
on a Friday, and it's totally different
Yeah.
to any of the other nights of the week.
No nights are the same. The Thursday night's different than the Saturday.
My audience would be predominantly gay on a Friday,
Yeah.
which I love. Do you know what I mean? And it's nice to have the gay support.
And of course, you've got Gary and Andrew as your loyal.
Oh, my number one boys. Do you know what I mean? My number one fans. I know.
And Wee Tommy. Meow, meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Okay, Glitzy, thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome.
No
Now get out.